Here today I have the amazing Dan. People always wonder, how do you manifest? Because everybody knows it's real, but they don't know how to really implement it the right way. Because everybody prays and asks the universe for things and wishes for things, and that's all great. That's the starting point for it. But step two is to pay attention when the universe starts to deliver it.
That's our universal GPS, right? So I talk to people a lot about, you're in a car and all of a sudden you got like 6 roads in front of you. You don't know which one you're turning off. And if you turn off the wrong road, bro, you just added an hour to your trip. Whatever it is to be successful, whatever it is to manifest, whatever it is to grow, whatever it is, you have to make sure, hey, listen, if you see the turn and you know it's coming up, you got to be well aware. When that lane opens, you got to turn. Yeah. Because if you don't turn, you're going to be miles and miles behind. If you believe you could be somewhere and you truly feel like you deserve to be there, you'll get there.
All right, everybody, welcome into the Abundance to Give podcast. Here today I have the amazing Dan. We had a little technical error. The first time we tried to do this thing virtually on Riverside, which was fine, except I think it works out a little bit better to do it in person.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what are you out here in Cali for?
Actually, I had some meetings with my business coach out in Cali, and got a few podcasts, and I have a mastermind event on Friday. So
what's that?
Mastermind?
Yeah, your mastermind. Who's it with?
Bedros Koulian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So Bedros is badass.
Yeah, that's my business coach.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. We'll chat about that. Kate and I, my girlfriend, I don't know how to say that, girlfriend, not a wife yet, but we were out in Arizona with Andy Elliott.
Okay.
And Bedros was one of kind of the speaker people out there for this event. And we had some intimate time with him. And his story is incredible. Yeah. Yeah. And like what he's been able to do. Tell me about, I guess, why did you choose him as your coach? And then why do you feel you need a coach at this point in your career?
All right, so I've had a coach for the last 20 years. I've always cycled my way up and grew my way into the next level, the next level, the next level. When you look at an individual like Bedros, a lot of coaches, they bring you into their organization. They have other people coaching you, and then they kind of like filter a little bit of time in. With Bedros, you have one-on-one.
One-on-one.
It's direct coaching with him. I had a half day with him yesterday, literally just drilling, face to face. Yeah. Unlimited connections, whether it's voice text message, whatever it is. You're not in a group. You're not in a setting where you're dealing with the affiliate people in his organization. You're dealing directly with him. And when you're spending upwards of $100,000 a year to get coaching, you know, you want to make sure that it's going to be the most valued.
100%.
A lot of times people are paying, $15,000, $20,000 to go to events, and having an experience. But if that $20,000 is going to be group setting, your experience is going to be minimized. So over the last 20 years, I've had coaches where I started out paying maybe $15,000. It was always one-on-one. Because when you're one-on-one, you can get on a deeper level. Sure. I feel like you're a lot more vulnerable. And you allow yourself to excel to your highest levels because the attention isn't trying to be directed towards a multitude of people where it's like, hey, we can all do this. It's like, you do this, here's where I'm at, here's where I need to go, here's how you do it. Yeah. Versus when you're in a setting where it's like, all right, how do I make this universal so it works for everybody? And a lot of times it doesn't work, especially if you're trying to traject your growth to higher levels.
Yeah, I would agree with that. What do you say to people, because like you said, you started off with $15,000, $20,000 for a year and in a small group setting, maybe ideally, but some one-on-ones, right? And then you started leveling up to the next level because, Bedros is not cheap. No. Right?
He's but like you're getting that. Top 5 expensive.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
Okay. And what does that get you? Mind me asking?
So you get 2 half days with him. Okay. Unlimited
per year.
Per year.
Okay.
Yeah, unlimited back and forth as far as texting, voice texting, unlimited, and he's not going to leave you hanging for more than a couple hours if he's busy. You get Zoom calls quarterly, like every couple months, and just an open connection and access to his entire network. Okay. The amount of people he's connected me with, put me in contact with, I've done business with.
Yeah, I was about to say that's probably more valuable than
100%.
Any $100,000 you can spend.
Just imagine like you or someone else, like someone is coming to work for you. Yep. And you're saying, hey, here's my Rolodex. Yep. Use it. So anything I've needed, anyone I've needed.
And in that process of connecting with those people in the Rolodex, are those folks aware that you may be reaching out?
Yeah, and he'll always do a connection. Gotcha. Like he'll do like a group text. or a voice text. Hey, so and so, I want to connect you with Dan. Here's where it is.
So Dan Fleischman, I'm sure you've connected
Yep.
with him because
Yep.
they're well connected. Do you know Jeff Fenster?
I don't.
No, because he's connected into that. It's interesting how a lot of folks in that space of whether it's speaking, coaching, high level, which, Bedros is, and they started their ranch, right? Because Dan in Bedros, I think it's Bedros' ranch, but Dan's a part of that.
The two of them, they're
Right.
partners in it, yeah.
Out in Temecula
Yeah.
and stuff. That's just amazing.
I believe it's for sale now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw something on Instagram that they were trying to sell it because the county or something was coming down on them. Does that sound about right?
They have like an influx of animals that they're not supposed to have, and they just keep getting more and more and more.
Oh my God.
So they're gonna get the animals relocated somewhere else, and
Okay.
just get rid of it. It's just a lot of work for them. It's a lot of money, for them to invest.
Is the concept to do another one or no? Like it's just too much.
I don't think they've made that decision yet.
Yeah, it's just too much.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I
super cool.
see, what's the Amazon guy? The guy that brings all the snakes and all that stuff, because he's friends with them too.
Yeah, I can't remember the name.
The chameleon guy. Yeah, he's like that. He's known as the Amazon guy on Instagram, but he's friends with all those guys.
Yeah.
And he brings all his animals and stuff to that facility. And I think they're running all kinds of, I don't know if it's SWAT stuff through there.
Yeah, the military training
Okay.
and stuff. Yeah.
So I want to talk about, because the whole point of our podcast is really to understand your deeper passions and kind of why you're even coaching, and how giving back and helping others, leaving a legacy for your brand, your name, your family, why that's important to you, and then how giving back. And I think maybe I'll start with that first is, what philanthropies or organizations do you care most about that you like to give back to, and why? And then has that driven you into what you're doing today?
Yeah, so as far as giving back, over the years, I've always given to my community, given to my church. But over the last year, I really identified in myself where I wanted to find an organization that I can really dig deep in, partner up with, spread the word with, and just be a voice for them. And through that search, I found Ability Tree, which deals with families that have disabled children, handicapped children, whatever it is. And there's a lot of issues going on where people don't realize that so many percentage of the homes have these problems, and the funding for it, and to get these kids to camp and do all this stuff just to have a better life, have more interaction, and just to really get out there in the world is so big. So Pastor Joe started the organization. His son Micah is 22 years old now, but was born with disabilities, and he really had a vision and a mission to go out there and put Ability Camp together, getting organizations in different states to literally have a 3, 4, 5 day weekend with these kids, and really get them connected, get them to be their best, live their best, and just have a good time.
Yeah.
And he's doing great things.
And what drew you to that organization?
What's crazy is I was at church. He was a guest pastor at our church. I heard his story, and just at the end of church, I said, listen, I'm going to shoot you a message on Instagram. I said, I'm pretty connected. I said, let's talk. Let me see how I can help you.
Okay.
And then we went back and forth probably for about 2 months, just back and forth. Then we finally connected. We connected. I met him. I met Micah. And then we just went on from there. I just went to their camp a few weeks ago out in Pennsylvania, and visited their camp while they were doing camp, and just to see just the love in the room and what's going on is so powerful.
How was your home when you grew up? Was it a disciplined home? Was it a tough home? Was it two parents in it?
Very dysfunctional.
Okay.
I grew up from humble beginnings. My parents didn't have a lot. My dad delivered furniture when I was a kid. My mom worked multiple jobs just to support the family. My dad had addiction issues, that I didn't realize till later on in life.
Alcohol, drugs, both?
Probably both.
Okay.
I remember as a kid, seeing these Narcotic Anonymous keychains, and I didn't know what they were until years later. I saw one of these, I was probably in my 30s. I'm like, damn, that's what that meant. I used to get these colorful keychains my dad used to give me.
Oh my gosh.
I had no idea what they were. So it just all rang a bell. And then I started seeing myself, I remember visiting my dad in rehab and all this kind of stuff. I remember the fights, the screams, the rage in the house. And I just remembered this like dysfunction. My mom loved us very much. She wanted to give us the best life possible. And I'm not going to say my dad didn't love us, but, obviously when you battle with demons and you battle with things in your life and, maybe sometimes you don't take personal responsibility.
Sure.
We don't see it because that's what I grew up in. I didn't know any different. And until later on in life where, I realized that there was more possibility and more things to do, I wanted to
When did you
outside.
realize that?
When I was like 16 years old.
Was there a role model or a defining moment that you can point to where like, hey, I had a role model and I had knowledge of greater things?
So two things. From New Jersey. Bon Jovi's from New Jersey.
Bon Jovi, I love this.
We passed his house.
Really?
I live in an apartment.
Yeah.
But it looked like a mall or store. I didn't know. Like I didn't know houses could be that big.
Yeah.
What's that? Well, it's rich people. We'll never be rich. They're different.
The mindset.
Brains just start shifting.
Yeah.
16 years old. See a title of a book. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I got a poor dad. What's this rich dad thing? Read the book. Book changes my life. Super influential. I read it 3 times at 16.
It's amazing how many people have read that book.
Yeah. Then to move on when I'm 17, the only job I ever had for a year, I grew up doing construction, and I wanted to be a contractor. I ended up, for years having construction companies. But when I was 17, I worked for a guy named Dave. Dave was in his 30s. He had 3 kids, amazing life. And he's the first person that ever told me he believed in me. Kid, you're good at what you do. Don't let anyone ever tell you different.
I love that.
So at that point right there.
Now you have support.
I have support. I have a mentor. I have a rich dad. And I have a poor dad. So the book's all coming into play. It's kind of crazy how, like, whatever we do in life, maybe today, a reflection of it will come later in another day. And so we always kind of put ourselves in a spot where everything we do or everything we see or everything we feel or touch has a reaction later on in life.
Sure.
So this was this book coming to life for me. I had somebody who was mentoring.
Well, they call it frequencies, and you probably listen to different people on YouTube and motivational folks, and people always wonder, how do you manifest? Right, that's like the biggest thing, because everybody knows it's real, but they don't know how to really implement it the right way. Because everybody prays and asks the universe for things and wishes for things, and that's all great. That's the starting point for it.
Only during bad times.
Right? But what they don't understand is that in order to truly manifest it, you need to, step 1 is to ask the universe, okay? But step 2 is to pay attention when the universe starts to deliver it.
Yep.
And when it starts to show you cracks, because they're sometimes very subtle.
Yep.
Like very subtle. Could be a book.
Yep.
Could be a person walking into a room that's in a waiting room that you have a chance to have a conversation with and you decide not to. Yep. Stuff like this is very, very small. Or you're at an event, and the one person you were looking to try and talk to happens to come to that event, and you're too chicken shit to walk across the room and shake the hand.
Yep.
Little things like that, right? Where the universe is delivering, you just need to take action on that delivery, right? And a lot of people don't take that action out of fear and scarcity mindset. And so I always tell people, if you want that manifestation, you're doing the asking. The universe is actually delivering it to you, sometimes in very subtle ways. You're just not paying attention.
Yeah, that's our universal GPS, right? So I talk to people a lot about, you're in a car, and all of a sudden, especially here in California, you got like 6 freaking roads in front of you. You don't know which one you're turning off.
Yeah.
And if you turn off the wrong road, and you make the wrong turn, or you don't make the turn you're supposed to make, bro, you just added an hour to your trip.
Sure.
Right? So the same thing with the world of, whatever it is to be successful, whatever it is to manifest, whatever it is to grow, whatever it is, you have to make sure, hey, listen, if you see the turn, and it's coming up, you got to be well aware. But sometimes you won't see it. But when that door opens or when that lane opens, you got to turn.
Yeah.
Because if you don't turn, you're going to be miles and miles behind.
Sure.
And a lot of people are scared because I think when we were kids, we're not scared to go down that road because we're curious.
Well, you're fearless, right? I mean, you just don't know what you don't know.
And you're curious.
Right. Yeah.
But as you become an adult, you put yourself in a position where, you want to be comfortable.
Yep.
You don't want to take a risk because we get conditioned this way. Like we're lucky to have a job. Like we're lucky to have a car. We're lucky to be there.
Well, and I think people, because of responsibilities, right? You have 2 kids. 2 kids or more?
I have 3.
3 kids. All these responsibilities start to set on your back, especially as a man. And so you become fearful of, well, shoot, if I take too big of a risk, then my responsibility is I can't provide. Therefore, you kind of get to the edge of the cliff and you walk yourself back.
Yep. So I tell a lot of people, like, if you believe that you can be somewhere, and this is 100% true, if you believe you could be somewhere and you truly feel like you deserve to be there, you'll get there. But the real, like, limitation is that most people don't believe that they can be somewhere, can be something, or can do something, because they put this limiting belief on them.
Yeah.
So I always talk. So for me, it's big on a childlike mentality. Like, if children want something, they get it.
Yeah.
Whether they want ice cream,
they're pretty relentless, aren't they?
You know? And that's why, like, in the backside of me, like, my whole motto is like relentless execution. If you relentlessly execute, you're going to get it.
Yeah.
It may not happen today, it may not happen tomorrow, but it will happen.
Sure.
Because you put yourself in the zone.
Yeah.
And when you're in the zone, you get there because that's all you're chasing.
Yeah. Tom Brady talked about that 2 years ago, because I'm a big Patriot guy and Tom Brady fan, even being here on the West Coast.
I'm a Buffalo fan.
Oh, no. See, you don't like that. But I got a conference, and he was one of the speakers. He was interviewed by Patrick Bet-David. And I ended up taking my son, because he's a huge Patriot guy, too, because of me. And we're sitting there. And Patrick asked Tom, like, this question. He says, Tom, you have all the accolades. You don't need any more trophies. And you have all the money.
Yeah.
You don't need more money. You have everything. Like, what drives you, dude, to, like, do this crazy stuff? And he says, you're right. I have the trophies. I have everything. I have all the money. You're right. I don't need any of that. But he says, honestly, I wake up every single day with a fear inside of me that if I don't show up to the locker room ready to go for my teammates, I'm letting them down. So it keeps me relentlessly in pursuit, right? Consistently disciplined to where, because of that, for him, it's that, right?
Yeah.
For other people, it's other drivers. But for him, like, he literally says, I wake up every day in fear of not being a good teammate. And that drives me to almost a level of insanity.
Yeah.
To where if I don't want to do something, I make myself do it. If I don't want to watch film, I make myself do it. If I don't want to do plyometrics and, stretch my body out, I do it. Simply because of that fear of walking into the locker room.
It's a great example. And I think for a lot of parents out there, they can understand something. I think a lot of people say, I do it for my kids. But then I say, do you really? What do you do for your kids? But what do you not do that you should be doing for your kids? Because everyone goes out there and talks about how, oh yeah, I go after this business for my kids. I do this for my kids. I do that for my kids. But I mean, what about all the excuses that you're making along the way? What about all the reasons why you say you can't versus why you should? We realistically, truly make ourselves believe that we're doing things for a purpose, but that purpose isn't really firing us up because it's not big enough inside of us. So, I mean, if your kids really knew all the shit you didn't do, it's a pretty big letdown.
Yeah, would they not? Yeah, the lack of respect, admiration, because that's what we all, not that you search for it, but I think we want our family and our kids to look up to us.
Yeah.
Right? That's crazy, because another thing that came up from that business thing down in Florida was Patrick says the 7 mountains that inspire people and move nations. And he brought this up on his, like, an identity audit he made everybody do in the audience. And I did that back in the room, that I was like freaking crying, because there was so many things I was realizing, shit, am I like an underachiever? Because you have such a high level for yourself that you want to achieve, and then if you're not meeting it, you kind of get down on yourself. I don't know if you're that way, but like, you're probably harder on yourself than most people.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I still think that, like, we still have something inside of us that's not letting us be our best self. We have some kind of fear, whatever it is, and we can always do better. Even Tom Brady, he could always do better.
I don't know, man.
He's a high level. He's a high level and high performer.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there are some things and some ways for him to be able to direct himself, get himself in a position to just have a little bit more.
Yeah, and he searches for it, which is crazy. Even in business, because now he's back in the business world.
Yeah.
Right, and so it's a different pursuit. For him and his family. That's interesting. So you coach people too.
Yep.
What do you focus them on? Is it high-level business performance? Is it, what type of coaching specifically?
So I do business coaching. I help people scale their businesses.
Okay.
Average person in business makes around $1 million a year.
Okay. Meaning revenue for the business.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is a glorified employee.
Yeah.
You know, everyone wants to be in business to say they're a business owner.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, like, they're living low scale.
Sure.
Because they're the bottleneck of their business. They're a glorified employee. How do I now help you to actually own a business that doesn't own you?
Sure.
And grow outside of it so that your business is operating without you? Because everyone thinks like, oh, one day I'm going to sell my business.
Yeah.
You can't sell your business if it's you, because you're going to sell yourself and you're trying to get out.
And if you're the identity of it.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the biggest problem I've seen in business. So taking people from $1 million to 3 to 4 to 5 million
Yep.
is easy as long as they're willing to do the work. But the work is unwinding the conditional thinking that they had,
Yep.
unwinding all the things that they thought were going to bring them to the next place, because they become stuck because they feel like, hey, whatever I did to get here,
Yep.
as long as I do a little bit more. It's not true. You got to do a lot of different things to get to the next level, because whatever you did to get here, you just kind of employed yourself to be the best part of that.
Yeah, maybe you don't have the right systems in place to then be able to allow you to delegate, right? Because in order for you to scale and grow, you got to bring people into the mix. Most business owners, as I'm sure you can attest to this, have control problems.
Control freaks, yep.
And I'm probably one of them.
Systems, processes are the biggest things in business. And, you know, listen, I am a true test to this, because for years I had, you know, a big construction company, making a lot of money, but I was the main man. I was right in the middle of it all. And until I implemented CRMs, until I started paying people to do the jobs that I didn't want to do anymore.
Sure.
And just putting people in place. And I think one thing business owners don't realize is, like, there's a lot more qualified person to answer the phone.
Yeah.
There's a lot more qualified person to send emails. There's a lot more qualified person to do your social media. There's a lot more qualified people to sell than you.
How do you balance that need with being able to afford them?
All right. So at the end of the day, if we really take what you're trying to do and all these different tasks that you're trying to do, you're burning your time. The reason why you got involved in business was because you wanted to have more time.
Right.
So how do we buy your most valuable asset back? Well, it's going to cost you some money. But as you start paying dividends, you're going to release time that's going to come back to you. Now you can start seeing how things are operating, watching how things, and see where you can go out there and implement bigger things to have bigger growth.
Or drive more business.
Correct.
Be a business development person versus...
So you're going to have to let go of some of the money that you're taking in, because you're really paying yourself to do all these tasks.
Sure.
So now you just...
And you're an overpaid employee.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you really divide up the hours, 100 some odd hours a week, whatever you're doing at $1 million a year, after all the expenses, what are you making? $20 an hour? You know what I mean?
Probably in a scary...
if you're lucky.
Yeah, in a scary way.
You know?
Where do you think... Not where you think... Where do you know that faith came into your life?
So you met two of my sons. My youngest son fell out of a window above my garage about 20 feet when he was 18 months old. He was saying bye to me. Bye, Daddy. Pushed the screen, fell right out the window. Oh. Turned white, dude. I mean, as white as this. Ghost white. Didn't move, didn't cry. Thought he was dead.
Oh, my gosh.
Couple people, like, I was born and raised Catholic.
Yeah.
I tell people I'm a recovering Catholic, because a lot of times, like, when we're born into something or raised into something, it's tradition.
Yeah.
And if something's tradition in our family, a lot of people don't really learn the real value. The value started where the tradition started, but it's always diminished as it came down along the line.
Gotcha.
So I had these two friends, and I've known them for a short time. And they were Christians, and they said, hey, you know, let's help you. We'll do all this. Like, I don't even know you guys like this. You know, my connected family's not even around trying to help out, making meals. You guys are like doing all this stuff. You know, and they're talking about like divine appointments with God and all this stuff. I'm like,
servitude.
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on? They're like, I don't even know what's going on. So I went to a couple of churches with them, and couldn't handle it, bro. Pretty aggressive churches. You know, people were speaking in tongues. It was wild. I was like, I can't do this. So then I started visiting a couple other churches. My mom's like, hey, come to the Catholic church. And I did what I did when I was 10 years old. I fell asleep because it was boring. And I was like, I can't do this either. And then I finally, you know, went to another church, and I related with the pastor. Okay. Here's what I figured out. Christianity is the base of it all. But what's cool about a pastor is a pastor has a family. A lot of them have a business. And they can relate the Bible to real life.
Yes.
When a priest, you know, and not knocking him, but he lives inside of a place with other men.
Bit of a bubble.
Doesn't have a social life, you know, and he can't relate real life experiences to how the biblical words are supposed to be taught.
Applied.
So I went to this church, you know, and after like 2 or 3 times I went there, I was like, wow, this feels like home. And at that point, moving forward, I realized I felt another movement. Then, you know, people say, you know, you just start feeling the Holy Spirit like run through you. It's wild, bro. You get goosebumps, like different times of your life. And from that point moving forward, I always just put God first. So you were talking before about, you know, people always try to pray for things. And I said, yeah, only when they need it. I think the most important thing to learn is that it's good to be grateful even when times are good.
Yeah.
Right? But also when times are bad.
Yeah.
And it's good to pray when times are bad, also when times are good.
Sure.
But everyone just, oh, God, please, why is this happening to me? Versus like, hey, God, like, I'm not sure what's going on here, but can you use this for the greater part of us or whatever we're trying to do? You know, help me grow through this. Oh, God, life is so good
the
right
to
now.
you, for you mentality.
Yes.
Yeah, the to you versus for you mentality.
People only want to show up when it's a benefit.
Yeah, which is interesting. Have you ever struggled with religion when you see really bad things happen to really good people?
No, because it talks about it in the Bible, and it's not for us to understand. You know, a lot of things we won't understand, but there's a lesson in everything. Yeah. We have to learn what that lesson is. So I had a heart attack 3 years ago.
Yeah.
August.
I read about that, 2022, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on full speed, bro. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, that was...
Why do you know why you had that? Did they get into that at all?
So I just went into cardiac arrest, but I came out. By the time I got to the hospital, I had some aspirin, drank a whole bunch of water. You know, everything dropped down.
Sure.
I have a leaky valve.
Okay.
You know, I have to watch because, you know, I have high blood pressure and all that, but it's just because of things I've done, you know, throughout my life, bodybuilding, all the steroids, all the crazy shit I did to my body.
Yep.
But my natural thoughts is I was dead in that ambulance.
Wow.
And when I'm laying and looking at the ceiling and I'm like, well, I didn't accomplish everything I could have accomplished. I didn't serve my purpose. I'm not leaving the best legacy I should have. I've been on overdrive when at the end of the day, I'm driving for a purpose, but I'm not living for my full potential with that purpose. So how do I do that? So I slowed myself down and I put myself in a space where now I'm going to get serious about my coaching. I'm going to get serious about doing things with my kids and, you know, being able to grow, you know, with my kids. Because we work so much to give our kids everything.
Sure.
But if I can't give my kids me and now I'm dead, what do I really do?
Yeah.
So that point really woke me up because, like I said, I was on overdrive. And I was just trying to do everything I could. And that's where, like, life just totally shifted for me. I had a totally different thought process. Even though I've coached people and done business prior to that, the function of how I worked and done things after that point has been totally different.
Would you say it's probably more intentional?
Way more intentional. So I lost everything when I was 24, right? Because I chased money. But then from 24 to, let's say, it was 3 years ago, so 40, you know, I chased purpose, but all I did was chase it. I didn't live it.
What would you say the difference is between chasing and living?
So when you're chasing purpose, you're just going after like this imaginary dangling thing that's out there, and you're just trying to get it and you're going through every wall that you can.
Gotcha.
But when you're living purpose, life's shining in front of you. You're having time. You're having a good time. You're doing.
You're
things.
acting as if.
Yeah, and it's present to you. Okay. You can see you're spending time. Like both of my boys are in business.
Yep.
You know, they're Bedros' clients too.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, like they can learn from me, but where are they going to get more out of? At 20 years old, 21 years old, like where's their business going to be in 10 years if he teaches them versus me? I'm their dad.
And what do they do?
One of them owns they own a powder coating company and sandblasting company.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're like in that kind of world.
And you're still in the construction world.
No.
You sold out of that. Okay. So it's just pure now coaching focused and podcast and other things.
Branding, personal brand, podcasting, speaking events, and my second book coming out.
What's the name of that?
That's Failing Your Way Uphill.
Failing Your Way Uphill. That's a good title.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with that?
So the book was just basically about 14 failures that I've used as life lessons to become the next step for my success.
Okay.
And the book, you wouldn't know it was me. I just talk about 14 failures I go through because everyone wants to write a book, but no one's going to buy a book about you. They're going to buy a book about purpose, a book about reason. So as long as you take yourself out of it,
Yep.
you're going to be more inclined to buy it. Like Atomic Habits, right? Like,
Yep.
boom, it's not like some guy's face,
Sure.
but it talks about something that's appealing.
Yeah, and they can relate to it. They can put themselves in that.
So the cover of the book is a guy like pushing a boulder up a hill, and it just shows like how you're failing your way up, failing your way forward.
It's interesting. What is there a measurable thing that you would like to accomplish by the end of this year?
I would like 20 coaching clients by the end of this year.
And you're all one-on-one?
One-on-one.
Okay. And you work with them for a year at a time, I'm guessing? Similar to Bedros, I'm guessing?
6 months or a year.
Okay.
He's a lot higher ticket than me. I'm a quarter of his expense.
I mean,
but again, like that's where he started.
Sure.
You know, and I started cheaper than that. I started at 5,000.
Yeah.
As you get more experience, as you do better, have you bigger results, then you can drive yourself to.
And what does somebody get when they come in for you for a year? So I'm guessing 25K, right?
25,000.
Yeah.
Every single month, we do a one-on-one.
Okay.
As far
It's like
as
an hour, I'm guessing, or
an hour. If you live in my state, we could do coffee or something.
Sure.
If not, we'll do it over the phone, Zoom, whatever you want to do.
okay.
Every quarter, live, full day with me.
Okay.
Unlimited resources for whoever I know, whatever I can do. I know people everywhere. My network.
And I would say the network is what people don't gather. The more hands you shake, the more money you make.
Right.
It's real simple.
So I know over like probably 30,000 people by first name.
Yeah. Wow. That's a Rolodex.
I used to be in network marketing. You know, I was a top leader in network marketing.
Wow.
So I have a lot of people that I know. And in network marketing, a lot of the performers that have ever made it were business owners. So a big cycle in my Rolodex is business owners, successful entrepreneurs. That's who I know. And they're in different states, different countries.
Yep.
And I can hook people up with people. But I mean, I don't talk to 20, 30,000 people, but I know.
Yeah, if somebody says, hey, I kind of need help in this arena, you're like, okay, boom, you can connect dots, connect people. Because
and if I don't have the person, I can say, hey, Bedros, you know somebody, you know, in this area that does this?
Yep.
Can you introduce me? And
it's amazing how the power of the network. I mean, everybody hears it, right? Net worth network, right? But it is. The more hands you shake, the more money you make. But it's not even the money. And you can probably relate to this a bit and tell me where you think you fit in. And I learned a lot from Patrick Bet-David. I always go to his business conference. I don't know if you go to this.
I've never been.
It's called The Vault.
Yeah, I've never been.
You would actually love this. I think all the CEO tickets are sold out for this year. It's in September, so it's coming up. Hands down, the best business conference you'll probably ever go to. But part of it is the identity audit that you get to do. And it's the 7 mountains that inspire people and influence the nations. And it goes like this, because he says, you can go make a bunch of money, and the money will drive you initially. It's a great motivator to get you going. But once you've made it, it's not a big motivator anymore.
Right.
Because this is why a lot of people get to a certain threshold in their life, but they feel unfulfilled. They just feel like, I chased all this money, I did all these things, but it's like, now I still feel empty.
Yeah.
Right? And it's because they're not serving the greater purpose.
Right.
And this is where these 7 mountains come in. So let me, if I can remember them correctly. So it's business, media, education, religion, politics, sports and entertainment, and family. Family being philanthropy, not just your specific family, but philanthropy based too. And he says, you need to pick 3 or 4 of these that align with you, that you're most passionate about. Meaning, like, when you think about these things, it like gets you going. And maybe you love politics. I don't know. Maybe you love talking religion when you shouldn't. Who knows, right? But these things. And he says, this is why it's important. When I sold my insurance company, and I watched the wire for $200 million come across my bank account. At this point, I don't need to get out of bed anymore. Plenty of money. But he says, I am on fire every day inside my belly because this is what drives me. Let me show you, right? He says, business got me the resources financially. So then now I can take that into my bigger passions. For me, it's media. This is for Patrick. Media, politics, and family and philanthropy. So think about what he's done. Went out and created a big media company, Valuetainment. Then he goes on, you see him talking with his podcast, politics, and all that stuff all the time, right? And having an influence, because he says, I can't be president of the United States. I'd love to be, but I can't because I'm not born here.
Yeah.
But he says, I can influence it. So hence the reason he's doing all of that. So that's a big passion and driver for him. And then adding on to that, the philanthropy side and all the organizations and stuff, not just his personal family, but then the stuff he does to give back. And then now he has his inner core that's like on fire for him every single day. He says, I have more fire now than I ever had building PHP Insurance Company. Because now I'm like living for a purpose and I got plenty of the resources to go get it.
Yeah.
So granted, business has to drive it. Revenue has to give you the resources to then move into the greater purpose of what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I've checked.
Where do you
him
fit
out.
into that?
I've checked him out. I haven't dug too deep into him.
Yeah.
I've seen his stuff.
Yeah.
So for me, mine is faith-based, like faith
Okay.
first, right? Just because everything that's happened in my life.
So religion could be a good driver.
Well, I think, and this is my opinion, I think religion is a man-made thing. I think it's more faith, like whatever you believe in.
Sure.
Your power, whatever it is, whoever you
I
believe
share in that.
So religion is something that was created. It's
Yeah.
not something that has been around for a long time. It's just developed out of something and became a thing.
Yeah.
So faith, family, and purpose,
Okay.
right? So my family's super important because I know that I didn't want to live the way I lived. And for me to be a bigger example to my kids so that they can go out there and not have, generational breakdown to bring them back, how do I show them how to move forward? So how do I be there? How do I be present? How do I interact with them? How do I keep them engaged in this life that they now love and be a part of? And then my purpose is to be able to go out there and show other people and be impactful to people. Because at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter what I have. It doesn't matter what I do. But if I can leave something long-term where 30, 40, 50 years from the day I'm gone, someone sees my kid and you're like, wow, that was your dad? Here's what he did for me. Oh, something that he said on the internet, that changed my life. Like, that's what I want.
That's legacy.
That's it.
Yeah.
But it's my purpose to change life, but leave a legacy for them. You know what I mean?
Have you ever heard the quote, it's not as important to be noticed when you walk into a room as it is to be remembered for the legacy you leave when you walk out?
Yes. Yep.
Right? And that goes, that really applies to life.
Life.
Right? Not so much the room.
Yeah.
But I believe in that. So on the religion thing, you kind of hit a topic there. Because I'll chat with people about this who are like really, really, really religious people. And I kind of have a rub with that in the sense that, like, I'm very faithful, believe in God, believe in a higher power, believe that we're created, all of that. But it's similar to what you just said, that religion's created.
Yeah.
Because you think about all the religions in the world. They can't all be right, and they certainly can't all be wrong, right? So you kind of look into that, and there can't all be 400 million gods all over the place.
Yep.
Okay, so, just basic logic would start to be like, let's ask some questions here.
Yeah.
And I feel that religions, the actual formal religions, are too confining, right? And I believe that we as human beings are part of something that is just so far beyond our comprehension. We can't even fathom its complexity.
It's confining and defining.
Yeah. So we've used religions
Yep.
as a way for us as humans to like understand what we can't understand, to put something physical to something that we can't actually see or touch or understand. And religions have helped us do that. And so for that cause, it serves a purpose, right? I believe, societies are better off with religion than without, 100%. But I also feel like sometimes if they're abused, and we see it happen, and or you see people that are so like bottlenecked in it that they don't even see outside of those walls of like, this is Christianity and you need to be this way. And if you're not this way, you're going to hell.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know about that.
See, like you said, you believe in God, you have faith and all that, and you don't have to be in anything.
Yeah.
But if you have faith and trust God and believe that He's your Lord and Savior, like at the end of the day, you'll be guided the right way. You don't have to be in a place. You don't have to be anywhere. But as long as your head is in the right place and your heart's in the right place, and you allow yourself to be, a child of God and be able to follow through what He's doing and what He's pursued for your life, because the roadmap's already done. And when you talk about religion, like how many people have left their religion, like to free themselves, right? Because it's cultivated. So that's another thing, It all started with one place, and then it just got broken up into all these little places and put in Ziploc bags. And all right, we're going to throw this over here. We're going to throw this over here. We're going to throw this over here. And the world is so divided.
Yeah.
And it's getting even worse now. You know, where people are looking into like, you know, the devil's a god, right? Whatever
Well, no, think about this. I mean, and I asked somebody, because they didn't really think about it this way, I said, you do understand that every conflict since the beginning of kind has started for one of two reasons: religion or land.
Yep.
And they're like, and you can literally go through every single conflict between countries, between people, between societies, between anything, even the ones going on right now.
Yeah.
It's one of two reasons: religion or land.
Yep.
That's it. And so when you kind of break that apart and you say, you're going to start killing people because of their religious beliefs? Yeah. Right? Or you're going to kill people because you just want some land? Yeah. And then you think about countries do it. Societies do it. People do it.
States do it.
Right? It's one of two things. It's land because of sometimes oil or resources.
Yep.
Or religion because we just don't like the things, you know, we need to kind of clean some stuff up here.
Who's the most dominant? That's always the guy who wants to win. Believe me, trust me, do my way, or it's not going to happen.
Right.
And this is a lot of people. Like, so many people are brought up in certain ways that they don't see the other light. They don't see what's out there.
Yeah.
And they're so zoned in.
What do you think has helped you have an open mind about people, societies, religions?
Again, like, it's not my place to judge, right? Like, I don't know why people do things, why they don't do things. It's not for my understanding. All I can pray or hope is that, you know, they come to their senses one day, right? Like, but that's not my job. My job is to do that. You know, I do, like, if people ask me about my faith, I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But I'm not out here like
Preach it.
Yeah, stomping around in the streets, knocking on your door. You know, because at the end of the day, like, I'm here for a reason. If the conversation comes up, conversation comes up.
Live the example, right? Be the example.
We always get put in places, whether it's business, faith, whatever it is. And we always get put in situations. So you talked about opportunities before. We always get put in situations where we have a conversation that we could have or a conversation that we don't have. And a lot of times we go back and say, well, I should have said that. You know, why didn't I say that? Because we maybe lead with fear versus the right option. So we're always putting these opportunities where we have conversations that we can bring people closer to anything they want in their life, but it's now up to us because we've gotten that appointment. We're there. And I always try to lead with, like, what's going to come out best here? Whether I'm liked or not after this conversation, like, how can I make this best?
Sure.
You know, because there's right and wrong. It's not about being liked and not liked. And that's the way I look at it.
What's a big pet peeve of yours?
I don't know, when people like stupid shit. Like, people don't put the shopping cart back. You know what I mean? Like, just dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Just laziness.
Okay.
And, you know, everyone wants to talk about being busy and this and that and being, you know, counterproductive. And at the end of the day, like, there's just little things we could do in life that just can multiply to a better place, right? They say how you do anything is how you do everything. So just show up. And when you show up, be your best. Instead of, like, making an excuse, you know, people just don't want to go out there and deliver their best for certain things in their life, especially themselves. Yeah. We'll do it for everybody else.
Yeah. Why do you think people procrastinate?
Because it's a lot easier to say, I'm thinking about it, I'm waiting for the right time, I don't have enough money and do all this, than it is to actually take action. Procrastination.
Because then now you're accountable.
Yeah, because procrastination is opportunity's natural assassin, right? So at the end of the day,
say that again.
Procrastination is opportunity's natural assassin. Yeah. So when we have opportunity in front of us, even if we have a business idea, even if we have, you know, anything, even people wanting to get in relationships, we take opinion polls from people.
Yeah.
We ask people, hey, what did you think of him? What did you think of her? What do you think about this business idea? I mean, if it's what you want to do, if it's who you want to date, who cares?
Sure.
But we want to justify our no by saying, hey, Justin told me it wasn't a good idea. Justin told me she didn't look good.
Well, you want public validation or private validation, one or the other, to, like you said, create it in your mind. Okay, it's a path or not a path I should go down. It's interesting.
And this is how people keep themselves busy with bullshit instead of actually taking action.
Yeah, I always get on, because you have to check yourself too, right? Call yourself out. And I always tell people, and you know, I battle it every day, the 7 inches between your ears, right? Because our mind is a scary fucking place.
Yep.
And if we listen to all the negativity that it can create, you won't go anywhere, right? Especially if you fall into those self-limiting belief patterns and stuff and just listen to it. Yeah, I'm always just curious about people's performance because you're right. People say that they're busy, but I'm like, well, but were you dollar productive? Right? Because there's a lot of things you can be busy with. You can be busy scrolling and doom scrolling.
Yeah.
Right? Versus dollar productive is like, is it moving the needle for you and your family?
Yeah, exactly.
Or for what your purpose and drive or goals are? And I always have to check myself, and people say they have different systems. For me, I have to live and die by a task list. This is how I operate.
That's the way I operate.
Because if I don't have it in my task, which I know all my tasks are dollar productive on my phone. Some people have it on paper. I put it right in my reminders list, and I'm like checking it 50 times a day because I know that everything on that list is dollar productive, is going to move the needle in one way, shape, or form. So therefore, if I get off route, I can fall right back to the task list and know that if I get in that momentum, then I know I'm dollar productive for the day.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm totally productive off of lists, off of schedules. If it's not on my schedule, it's not happening. If it's not on my list, it's not happening.
Right.
Everything has to be done. And like you said, people are busy, staying busy, but not producing results.
Correct.
So that's why like TV is a killer, social media is a killer. Like, how much time? I always tell people, you're busy? Let me see your screen time.
Does it count if it's in the background? Meaning if you're not on the app, but it's open.
I mean,
does that count? I don't know if it counts.
I don't think screen time counts.
Yeah, I don't even know how it calculates it.
All I'll say is like, all right, you're on TikTok or Instagram for 6 hours a day. How much money did you make?
Yeah, right.
So you're busy. You're not busy. You're wasting time.
That's right.
And this is what people think. Oh yeah, you watch that show, that Netflix or whatever.
Yep.
I don't even listen. You can name a show, I wouldn't even know who it is. You can name an actor or an actress, I don't know who it is. I don't watch TV.
Yep.
If I were to watch TV, I'm going to pass out because I've literally went from 0 to 100 the entire day, and now I'm relaxing and I'm out.
Yep.
Like that's what my life is. I'll read a book, I'll listen to an audio and just kind of wind myself down. But the minute you put the TV on and I'm sitting on the couch, I'm out.
Sounds like me 15 minutes on my couch now. Like
you watch Yellowstone? I'm like, no, I don't watch Yellowstone. What the hell's Yellowstone?
I feel like most of the stuff I watch on DVR demand now because I don't have the time for the live TV. I mean, occasionally I will, but I feel like anything I watch is on like I have it saved and I'll run through it quickly.
Yeah.
I feel like I do that. Interesting. What? Yeah. I mean, your life is fascinating, man. I mean, what would you say recently has been, other than the heart attack, which is a major one, is there any big struggles that you've overcome in the last 12 to 24 months?
I had a $3 million lawsuit.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That one sucks.
Yeah. So I was talking to my accountant. He's like, bro, you have a $3 million lawsuit. How are you talking to me like you're okay? I go, whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
Sure.
I go, it's out of my control. I said, how many times have you talked to yourself in the shower, talked to yourself in the car, and that stuff never happens?
Yep.
I said, we precondition our mind to respond to something that we're never going to respond to. So at the end of the day, like, I have to go on with life. I have to do what I got to do. Yep. And whatever happens, happens. I just sold a company to a guy as a shitbag. Like, the guy's literally making the company fall apart. Is that my problem? No. Is it stressful? A little bit. Yeah. Because it's my brand that I built. But at the end of the day, like, who's going to hold the liability? He is. I'm not.
Sure.
So like, what can I do? Yep. And you just got to kind of move on in life. But we go through these situations in life. And I talk about something, I've been talking about it for like the last 15 years. It's our recovery time. People hold on to things for so long.
Yep.
So something I've held on to, and I've always told people, if you hold on to which is small, you'll never get which is large. So if you keep going through these small things that are going to happen in your life, all they're doing is graduating to go through a bigger thing. Yep. But you're never going to get to the bigger thing if you're stuck on this. You're going to hold yourself back from your true potential.
Sure.
So we cannot predict what's going to happen, because what's going to happen is going to happen.
Sure.
This is what you have lawyers for. This is whatever. Like, pay the people who are professionals, let them deal with it, and you just show up when you need to show up. That's the way I feel.
Yep.
But everybody else, oh my God, and they want to spend so much time dwelling on it. You're just wasting time. 99% of things we worry about never happen anyway.
Yep. Yeah, and I think and it is a challenge, and I've had to remind myself of that. I mean, I think constantly that, when you have a high propensity to want to control situations that are not in your control, you'll kill yourself.
100%.
You'll kill yourself just with the anxiety, right? Because what do they say? When you live in the future, you live in anxiety. When you live in the past, you live in depression. which is why you have to live in the present as much as possible. Right?
Listen, we don't know what tomorrow brings.
Right.
Yesterday was over last night.
Well, and I mean, how many people were full of anxiety about this stinking tsunami? And I'm like cracking up a little bit. I'm like, yeah, okay, they got to be over. I understand why they're doing this. It comes into San Diego, it's 1 foot. Yeah. I knew it was going to be 1 foot.
So I didn't even text you. I didn't even care. I said, I'm going to go do the podcast. It is what it is. It's a 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, it's not, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. Whatever. But why am I going to worry about it?
Sure.
You know, and at the end of the day, this is the world that we live in. We create such fear and, you know, false expectation appearing real, right? We're expecting things to be so bad. We create these real scenarios that we really think are going to happen, but they never happen. So we waste so much time depending on what we think the result's going to be.
Sure.
Versus actually just letting the result be what it's going to be.
Yeah, be present and allow it to be, right? Allow it to be.
Car accidents, you don't know when they're going to happen.
Yeah.
Deaths, you don't know when they're going to happen. But imagine you did. Right?
Scare the shit out of you.
You wouldn't drive no more.
Yeah, you wouldn't do nothing.
Right?
You sit in a cocoon and wrap yourself up in cellophane.
I bring people back to this. Think about when, like, you were in elementary school and you had your first crush. You talked to that girl, you had a crush on her, she didn't like you. And you asked her out or whatever, you wanted to go steady or whatever the fuck it was back then, right? And she said no. Did you go gay? No. Right or wrong?
Not me.
I'm just saying, you have a girl now, but I'm saying you kept on the path.
Yeah.
But as you get older, we get paralyzed by things that are irrelevant, like, and inevitable. Things are going to happen. And however they're going to happen, they're going to happen.
Yep.
But we always try to go back, like, what can I have done different to make that not happen? Well, nothing, because it's already happened. They can't change it.
And maybe it was supposed to happen that way, right? Everything
happens for a reason.
Whether you like it or not, it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's kind of that comes into the faith side of things, right? You have to just understand that the universe is doing exactly what it's supposed to do for you, and you are exactly where you're supposed to be.
We have two things that we have to focus on when things happen. We have to go through it, and we have to grow through it. And utilize whatever the lesson is. No matter how bad something is in your life, what is the lesson you learned to propel you forward?
Yep.
All the negatives aren't going to impact you in a positive way, but what's a lesson you learned or something you could have tweaked? Don't dwell on it. Just now think about it. And now in the future, if something arises, you know what you can do different next. But you're spending so much time, and they want to talk about this stuff with their friends, and they want to go out there and, you know, really deliver themselves in a place where they want people to feel bad for them, sympathy, all that shit.
Yeah, play victimhood.
No one cares.
Yeah.
Be the victor, not the victim.
Trust me, people have enough problems. They may listen to you for a couple of minutes just to kind of be a friend. But listen, I mean, at some point you got to, like, grab your you-know-what, and you got to go. Yeah. And move forward. 100%. And move forward. What so on the coaching and staging and all that, have you spoken on stage yet? Are you trying to get on stages? Is this kind of what you're working with Bedros on?
I've spoken on stage over the years, even being in network marketing. I've spoken on stage. We just had a big event in Jersey. Bedros is actually coming to do an event with me in Jersey. Okay. In November. So
yeah, he's such a how do I describe Bedros? Because that was actually the first time I saw him was at this event with Andy Elliott, Bedros, and a couple other folks, and he has such a presence about him. Yeah. Similar to kind of you though. Like you have a presence.
Everyone thinks
we're
brothers.
Yeah, no, but you guys have like we're
stern, masculine,
stern, calm.
Yeah.
Right, emotionally disciplined. But sternness to that, where it's like respectful level, right? Where you don't need to speak loudly to get the attention. You can speak in term and basically warrant that. So
one thing about like an individual like Bedros, and I would say myself too, is we've been through it. Yeah. A lot of people who try to speak on stage, a lot of people who try to be trainers and all this shit, they haven't been through it.
Which is wild to me. It's wild to me because even in like the multifamily game and stuff that we're doing, I mean, and I'm talking to people who are either salespeople in the space, people that have worked with other people in the space, and they keep telling me like, Justin, you actually do this? I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah. They're like, wait, you actually buy multifamily apartment buildings? I'm like, yes. Yeah. They're like, do people not do this? They're like, you'd be surprised, bro. How many people are out there, they've done one deal and then they want to go be a coach.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? Like, that's how this game, they're like, yeah, because they think they can.
I go on a lot of podcasts, bro, and a lot of people are certified coaches on a piece of paper. So that's like the marriage counselor who's never been married, right? Like how the
or the dating coach that's right.
How the fuck do you deliver to somebody?
Yeah,
if you ain't been through it,
sure.
Textbook shit doesn't work in this world. It's real life shit that works.
Sure.
And by explaining to people how life is going to play out based on experience, is the way it works. But so many people, I want to be a coach. I want to do this. I want to do that. But what value are you bringing to the market?
Right.
Like if you're not bringing any value, you're not bringing any real shit, like it's going to be false hope. It's going to be, a result that you can't even like project because you don't know.
Yep.
I can project things in people's lives because I've been through it. I got bankrupt at 24. I went through it. At the end of the day, like I know what it is to lose everything, and build it back. Yeah, twice. Got divorced, same thing. I had to build it over again, But how do you go from $10,000 to $3 million in 24 months?
Wow.
Because you've been through it.
Yeah.
Like you can't even get to $3 million in 10 years. And most coaches are living on their mom's couch, sleeping on their mom's couch and, working out of this little studio and it's a bedroom.
Yep.
And they're trying to deliver stuff. And that's why I hate half of these influencers in the world. Like they're so full of shit, dude. Yeah. They just want to sell programs and they want to do stuff and get all their little minions to go out there and teach and coach and do this. And then, hey, you'll connect with me later. But where's the real value there?
Yep.
You're bringing somebody into your coaching program as a coach to sell someone on things, but they really need you because that kid hasn't even experienced. I mean, these kids are 20-something years old, 30-something years old. Dude, they still piss their pants. They don't even know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Right. No, and it's hard, right? Because you have, the gig economy, if you want to call it that, and, people are being told every day, traditional college world doesn't work, which there's a part of that that's changed a lot, and I agree with it. But they're then trying to make fast money.
Yeah.
Right? It's all about the fast dollar, and they're not willing to go through pain to build something with a bigger purpose. It's very interesting. What would you like people to know about you that they probably don't know? Like, what are some kind of hidden talents? Do you sing? Do you dance?
I was a bodybuilder young in life.
Okay.
When I was a kid, I was like a really good skateboarder and snowboarder.
Okay.
But I don't have any hidden talents. I'm like an extreme sportist, like, go fast on motorcycles.
Are you an adrenaline junkie?
Adrenaline junkie, yeah.
Do you like fast cars?
Fast
Do you
cars.
like to race?
I don't like to race.
No.
But I like motorcycles,
Yeah.
like jet skis going fast,
Yeah.
boats.
Are you a Harley guy?
I have a Harley.
Okay.
Yeah, my boys got Harleys.
Okay. I was gonna figure that one. You got some Harleys.
But I used to, like when I was in my young 20s, wheeling on street bikes.
Yeah.
80, 90 miles an hour.
Well, now these guys, they're all electric, right? My kids are watching it. There's Sarons and all these other electric bikes. These guys are doing some crazy shit.
But I could jump on a Harley now and just do a burnout on a big bagger, rip down the street because this is like the life I grew up in and I'm not scared to do it.
Yeah. It's so interesting. What would you say is one of your greatest strengths?
Perseverance.
You don't give up.
Nope.
Okay. Weakness?
Sometimes I fight myself, where it's like, I don't believe I can do things sometimes, but then I get right out of it. Like it'll take me back for a second and it'll like throw me back and I'll be like, all right, and I get myself out of it. But that's like my biggest weakness is like overthinking the possibility.
Sure.
But then it's like it's gone. Like,
well, and I think a lot of people do that. It's just, but I think the gift is fighting through it.
Yeah.
And jumping off the cliff. I always say anybody can get to the edge, right? It's like who's going to jump? I call it and allow the how, because a lot of people don't know the how. Like you don't know the future. You don't know the how. Sometimes you just got to jump off and allow the how to show up.
My weakness is being like real to my kids now that they're adults.
Yep.
Because they're still kids. But like if I start being real and vulnerable with them about the tough times in business, the tough times of life, dude, they're in business now. Like I got to show them that shit. Like, because if they think it's all goody goody all the time,
sure,
when they're younger, you want to be strong. You want to be able to provide. You don't want to look weak. How many dads look weak? My job sucks. I hate these. This is what they say at the dinner table. My job sucks. I hate these people. I can't stand this. I don't have enough money. We can't do. I never talk like that in front of my kids, ever. My kids would never knew, like, we couldn't do something. It would be like, not right now, but soon.
Yeah.
But whatever.
So would you just not say anything and then persevere through it?
Yeah, I would figure out a way to get there. Like, if they wanted to do something, or there was something that, whatever it was, after I got divorced, I didn't have a lot of money. I got, like, financially drained.
Who doesn't, right? I mean,
right. It sucks.
I mean, I've been through it. Thankfully, in my situation, we can even talk about this, but it's what people don't understand. And thankfully, I had a wise person when I was younger say, listen, did you know that everybody signs a premarital agreement? Everybody signs a prenup. And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, everybody signs ones. You're just signing the default state version, or you sign one that you and your spouse come up with that's like more in line with your core values and your belief systems and what you guys want. But you're signing one. She's signing one. You're signing one. Everybody signs one.
That's your certificate.
You're just signing the marriage cert, which has 150 pages below it that you don't read, or you sign one that's maybe 30, 40 pages that you created together.
Yeah.
You're signing one. And I'm like, I didn't really thought about it like that, but that's true. And then it just comes down to, okay, what do people understand? How do you create something that both people can feel like, hey, if something happened to us in our relationship, we're both going to be able to walk away from this without destroying our kids, our family. We could at least have some form of a friendly relationship without wanting to murder each other post a relationship breakup. And I will be the first to tell you that it probably saved some sort of a decent relationship with my ex-wife, right? Because she got spousal support, child support, has things set up, life insurance policy. Everything was preset in it in terms of what she would get monetarily. It's not like one of these things where wife gets nothing, husband gets everything in a prenup, or vice versa.
Yeah.
It creates a fairness. Heaven forbid something happen, but everybody signs one. That's what people don't understand. They just don't like it's not romantic.
Yeah.
Right? And because it's not romantic, you're trying to divorce me. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to do anything. It's just a matter of, we're going to sign something.
I didn't necessarily lose everything. It was just a long, long battle that the lawyers made everything.
Sure.
So that drained me.
They love pushing emails, man.
That drained me. And my ex-wife was super relentless in a point where she was being greedy, that she wanted it all or nothing.
Yep.
And she ended up getting nothing.
Because all the lawyers got it.
All the lawyers got it. And it came to a point where we were at our arbitration or whatever it was, and she owed a big bill, and her lawyer says, we're settling this today. And I think we settled for like 25 grand or whatever it was. And the only downfall was it tore the kids apart. So my middle son didn't talk to me for 4 years after this. And it pulled us apart.
That is crazy. But you see what happened?
Yeah.
And yeah, people,
greed, bro, greed.
Yeah, people don't understand. And it's hard because you're right. It's not romantic. I get it. But at the same time, a lot of folks, I feel like, don't understand the concept of marriage.
Yeah.
You were technically, and I know, once again, it's not romantic, but you were going into a business relationship and a life relationship with this partner.
Correct.
Period.
Correct.
Whether you like it or not, it's a legal and a business and a life relationship with this person that you are connected on everything for the remainder of your human existence. So wouldn't you think you'd have something in place that, heaven forbid, that relationship?
I was young, man. I was 24.
No, and most people are.
I didn't know.
Right, and most people don't know what they don't know.
2 kids already.
Yeah.
We did it obviously for financial reasons because that's when I was losing everything, going bankrupt.
Yep.
We had to do it to save the house.
Yeah, yeah.
So we just we had a small wedding, 30 people there.
Yep.
And that was like the I do was like I don't.
Yeah.
And it was just a downfall from there. But we did not have a good relationship going into that.
Gotcha.
But I had no idea, like, years and years later, we stuck it out for like 10 years, like how bad things can get. And
Sure.
like money is such a negative motivator for people. And when they want to destroy you and want to hurt you and do all that, well, me and her don't have a good relationship.
Yeah.
We don't speak at all. I don't hate her.
Yeah.
I forgive her, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, I think she's okay right now. And, we just talk via email. That's about it. But there was a point where it was like, dude, I couldn't even email her or text her or whatever. I was blocked on email, like just dumb shit. But this is the world that we live in because other women are getting divorced. They're taking their husbands for everything. And so it's like, she had a good job. I was doing good. Like, you're not like the housewife. You can't get what the housewife got.
Yeah.
But she was in this world where the lawyers make you believe like you're going to get this whole world because as long as they can keep making you believe it, you're just dipping in and out.
And they'll pass emails.
Yep.
And they'll send phone calls.
They talk to each other too.
Yeah, they're real good at putting those charges on the invoice for you and passing a few emails that cost $400 an hour.
Well, I found out that all these lawyers know each other anyway, and they all talk, they all have fun.
Yep.
So they tell you the next move.
Oh yeah.
Well, they don't tell you; they tell each other the next move, and they come in for the gambit.
Yeah, it's a big cycle of F, you know what. So and most people don't know what they don't know, and that's like I said, I was very fortunate to have somebody explain that to me before I ever did. There's just no, I don't, now I would advise anybody. And what's the odd thing about the entire thing is if you go talk to a bunch of divorce lawyers or even estate attorneys or any attorney in that space, they'll be the first one to tell you to go get an actual premarital agreement.
Yeah.
Right? They'll be the first ones. And then a lot of people that are divorced and maybe getting remarried, they'll be the first ones to tell you, well, like if I ever do it again, we'll have something in place for ourselves so that way we can salvage a relationship, maybe not destroy the kids. Everything's preset. So at least you have some understanding that, hey, heaven forbid something happen.
Yeah.
At least we're not going to murder each other and destroy the children and the families and then not talk to each other for 40 years and all this other bullshit. So, I mean, it's crazy.
It's a tough time that men can go through too. And I think men who go through divorce, a lot of them, I think just from what I see, I think it's easier for a woman to pick up and move forward in a divorce, even though in the beginning maybe they're financially struggling. They can find another man to support them, do whatever they want to do. But a lot of times men get stuck in this place where like now they have nothing, they're not making any money, and they stay there.
Yeah.
Now listen, once the papers are signed, bro, and it's done, you can go out there and do whatever you want.
Yep.
And they're all worried, oh, she'll take me back to court. She can't take you back to court if you're making more money later.
Yeah.
She can take you back to court if you were lying in the beginning.
Sure.
So like they again, the false hope, excuses, procrastination to give their kids a better life. And mom did this to me.
Yep.
Now you look like a shitbag
You play
dad.
victimhood. Yep.
Yeah, and you don't want to go out there and give your kids the best. Like, dude, I had nothing, and I still told my kids like, hey, and this goes back to what we were talking about before. Like, I couldn't do it then, but I said, hey, I'm going to work hard for the next 3 years, put my head down, and then we're going to have something good. And then we ended up getting a place in Aruba, and now it's hey, this is what I worked for. This is for you guys. So that's what people don't understand. Like if you set a common goal, my kids, I sat down with them.
Really?
And I said, here's what's going on. Here's what I'm doing. This is why I do it. If I'm on the phone while we're together, just let me hang up. As soon as I'm done, I'm all there.
Okay.
But there are things I need to do because, at this point right now, it's just me supporting you.
Sure.
And they were all involved. And, dude, they love it. They love going away. They literally have, my daughter has countdowns on her phone, like when the next time we're going to Aruba is. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
But it's just the memories that are built, but it's through the conversations that are had about why you do things. If you can't engage your family in why you're doing what you're doing, they'll never know, number one.
Yeah, they say bring them along for the ride.
Yeah.
Right? And I used to do this, so I'm guilty of it, where I would separate the business world from the family world. And what you don't realize is actually if you kind of bring them together and meld them, your family loves to come along for the ride because then they're also not wondering what the fuck you're doing. Yeah. Right? They actually see the hard work you're putting in. They see the energy. And they're not just sitting there wondering, oh, he's sitting in his office and doing this and, X, Y, Z. No, they actually get to see the ride and be a part of it, which I think is great.
Yeah, I think that's why my oldest son became a business owner because I involved him in the world, helped him understand the world. And at that point, he saw the time freedom. He saw the things you could do. He saw the possibilities.
He saw the hustle, man.
But he also sees the struggle now. Yeah. So by that, it allows him to realize, like, hey, I can have this great life. But there are going to be seasons. Mm-hmm. But even if you're an employee, there's seasons. Yeah. When you get hit with something, you lose your job, you do this, you do that. This is what the average person doesn't understand because they can't think above average. Yep. Is that like everything happens to all of us. We're just broke on a higher level. If something happens bad, happens bad to us,
it costs more money.
It's a lot more expensive.
Sure.
If everything falls apart in our world, it's a lot more risky.
Sure.
But they don't understand this because we don't live in a world of comfort. But as a business owner, when you do get comfortable, is when your world starts falling apart.
Yeah. Yeah, when you lose the hustle. And I'll finish on a couple of things like this, maybe a little rapid fire, but what is your greatest fear?
That I go to heaven one day, the guy in front of me just talked to God, and God said, hey, you didn't do everything I set out for you to do. I'm disappointed. I'm just going to let you sit over here for a while. I don't want to be that guy.
I'm not letting you in.
I want to be the guy where as soon as I face to face with God, he's like, hey, Dan, bro, I don't know what you did, but you blew the lid off of it. I want to go above and beyond and have zero limits. Like my limit scale is so high.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to do everything I can because, again, I can't get this day back. I can't get this week back. So, like, I'm out here in California. Yep. I'm maximizing everything I can do.
Yeah, you are.
Spending time.
You got masterminds. You got Bedros. You got podcasts.
Spending time with my kids. Yeah. Downtime.
You're bringing them down. I mean, they're out for. How old are they now?
20 and 19.
Okay. So, are they? Any plans for college? No college?
No, it's just business owners.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. But I involve them in this world because if this is where they want to be, they got to start seeing it.
Sure.
And I did a video yesterday on my phone. Like, I was sitting in the back seat of the rental, and they're driving me around. Like, people aren't. Hey, listen, why would I drive? I got 2 chauffeurs for me. I can do work. I can send my videos.
Built-in Uber, damn it.
Yep.
So that's your greatest fear. Wave a magic wand. We're going to do 2 of them. It's the end of 2025. It's December 31st, 2025. How does this year end for you? And what would you magically accomplish by the end of the year that you're striving for right now?
So right now, you go to live events.
Yeah.
I personally think that the best relationships, the best business connections always happen at live events.
Okay.
After COVID, live events kind of diminished and they're starting to come back.
Sure.
I live in the Northeast. I do spend time in Florida, but I'm back and forth. But my main hub is the Northeast. Most densely populated area in the world. How do I, which I'm creating right now, bring events back live in the Northeast and become a major contributor to that, where I have promoters, I have other people, I'm bringing in people like Bedros, people like Ed Milet, people like you, everyone that I can to speak at these events, to get people to shake hands, to get people to actually, see the sweat of someone on stage delivering something that's going to impact their life. Because you can't do this shit over Zoom.
No, you can't.
So I'm trying to be the biggest impactor right now.
In the Northeast.
To bring live events back.
I love that. Big D, baby.
Big D.
Another wise man told me a couple of years ago, because I used to go to conferences, events, and I would just pay for general admission.
Always buy VIP.
I know. And he said, dude, what are you doing? And I'd go to as many as I could, just thinking, the more the merrier. He says, bro.
Sitting with the masses.
He says, stop.
$100.
He says, here's the best piece of advice you'll probably ever get, and watch what it does for your life in the next 12 months. He says, you're going to narrow your conferences down to 4, and they're going to be strategic. They're going to be 2 in your industry and 2 out of your industry. And you're going to pay for the most expensive ticket to go to that event and get in the front row and get in the green rooms behind the scenes and shake the hands and go to the dinners and go to the events and the networking, right? You're going to pay to play, baby. And I said, really? He said, that could be pretty expensive. He's like, yeah, watch what happens. He says, it'll be one of the best ROIs you've ever made in your life. And I said, okay, I'm just going to trust you. I'm going to go for it. So this is why I go to 4 events a year, 2 in industry, 2 out of industry, right? 2 multifamily, commercial real estate, 2 that are more rah-rah, it could be a Tony Robbins or Patrick Bet-David or whatever it is, right? Always pay for the most expensive ticket.
Always.
So like at Patrick's, it's $18,000 for the CEO ticket. But dude, I'm sitting next to Andy Elliott and I'm sitting next to like all these influencers. You're talking billionaires. Like, and Andy's like the brokest one there next to me, right? But the people sitting there are unbelievable. I mean, I took my son one time and we sat there and then we get up and we're at this after party with PBD and all his people. And I'm talking to this guy, Todrek. And I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. But my son's talking to his son because they're similar age, and we're like, dude, it'd be so cool if like Messi came to one of Patrick's events in the coming years. And this guy's like, yeah, I think we can get him here. And I'm like, who? Like, what do you mean who? And he's like, yeah, I sold my house to Messi. He lives next to me right now. And I live 4 doors down from Patrick and blah, 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 blah. Come to find out, this guy's a massive commercial real estate developer, billionaire dude, humble as hell, from Poland.
Wow.
And he's friends with Messi, like, and hangs out with him and his wife. And I'm like, this is worth the ticket admission. And now we're friends.
Always buy VIP. So people will expense the things in their life that they feel value in a moment.
Yeah.
Not that what they feel value in the long term.
Yeah.
And it's just like everything else. People will buy the expensive car, but live in a townhouse. People will buy the expensive shoes, you know what I mean, but live in a townhouse.
Yeah.
But people won't invest in themselves.
Yeah.
So I've been a big person on always buying that VIP ticket.
Yep.
And like I freak out, bro. Sometimes there's not enough. Like you don't see the event.
Sure.
And there's like all already sold out. I'll be calling up like, hey, how do I get one? Can you open up another row? You know, whatever I got to do, because that's where you want to be.
Interesting.
And
yeah, and I don't know if I mean, this would be an interesting one. I mean, I'm just saying this because it's hands down the best business conference I've ever been to, just because of everything they put together. But it's in September 7th, 8th through the 11th in Orlando this year. But they have the CEO ticket. I don't know if they have any left. And then they have one behind it. But the CEO ticket is, I want to say it's $17,000 or no, $18,000 now.
and it's a tax write-off.
Oh, hands down. But dude, the people you're going to get to meet
Of course.
is off the chart. Like it's crazy. Because it's not like going to, I don't know, some of these other conferences where, you know, some people are players, some people aren't, that type of thing. I mean, people are playing ball.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in that cohort of probably about 200 people that are the CEOs. And you're going to like the parties and the dinners and you're hanging out and you're learning about these people that I'm like, holy cow. I mean, it'll make you feel small, right? Want you to strive for more.
But that's
what you want.
Being the smallest guy in the room is the best place to be.
100%.
Yep.
I want to be the dumbest guy and the smallest guy in the room, but then have the drive and the aspiration to go after it.
Yep.
And then listen and listen and listen and listen. So it's crazy what comes to that stuff. So, man, this was, we could probably go for 2 hours if we wanted to. I appreciate you coming in live and doing this.
I'm glad our first one didn't work out.
I mean, I may have to fly out to the East Coast if you would have me on your Big D.
Absolutely.
What is your podcast about?
You wouldn't be on the Big D podcast. This is an individual mindset podcast about mental health, growth, and wealth, freedom, and relentless execution. And then I have the Intrepidus podcast where we'd bring you in. That podcast, Intrepidus, is a Latin word of fear. We interview business owners or people of significance, people who've done something crazy, people who
Intrepidus?
Intrepidus.
It's a cool name.
It's a Latin word. And anyone who's done anything significant. How have you impacted the world? How have you impacted your family? What can you train or teach the next person? How do you live inside your fear? Because we all live inside our fear.
Yeah.
What keeps us up?
How do you live inside your fear? Shit, I feel like that's a good title to a book, man. Because, I mean, any entrepreneur, any business owner, anybody in general, but anybody who's created a business has made a courageous decision, right? Yeah. Typically inside their fear. But they just said they didn't want to listen to it. They finally said, bye-bye bad birdie, let's listen to the go birdie. Interesting.
I always say fear is the fuel that the average person won't use.
Yeah, and there was a crazy quote from Elon Musk. I think it was either his wife or one of his ex-wives. I don't know who it was. They said, one of the greatest things I learned from Elon is that if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you have to be uncomfortable living in a level of stress that becomes comfortable.
Yep.
Right? Like you're sitting inside constantly a level of stress that you make comfortable. Right? It's no different than you left with all your attorneys and the lawsuits or whatever is going on, but you're able to sit in a level of emotional discipline and comfortability with like, you know what? It's going to work itself out.
Well, what were you doing this morning? You were on your spin bike, right?
Right.
So that's how we deal with our stress. We work out. I was doing, while I saw you on your spin bike, I was walking on the incline at the hotel.
There you go, baby.
So that's how we deal with our stress. It's our alone time. It's our time. We get our body functioning, our body moving. And it's just a time that we take working on ourselves, working in ourselves. And this helps us. And that's why a lot of people don't realize, like the most successful people in the world, like we all are in some type of better shape. You know, the people who are not in good shape and want to be in business usually fall under like some sort of category where their life's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, interesting.
You know, totally unbalanced. Listen, I'm not by far what I used to be in 20 years ago. You know,
Sure,
ripped up,
bodybuilding
shredded,
stuff, right?
You know, but I'm still like at a point where I'm big,
Yep.
I'm fit, I'm not fat. You know what I mean? And that's important because why does someone want to listen to a fat slob if I'm trying to coach them about business?
Sure.
I only care about business, but I don't care about my health.
Yep. Yep.
It all falls into play.
It's a valid point.
Yep.
It's a valid point. Well, thank you so much for coming on. This was amazing. And where can people find you? What's the best, easiest channel?
My biggest channel is going to be Instagram.
Okay.
Big Dan Official on Instagram.
Okay.
Or my website, dansikowski.com. Everything is on there. My coaching. I have a free 7-day blueprint. Literally takes you through 7 days. Video series. It's completely free. Helps you get reignited.
Okay.
Back into your purpose. Back onto your journey. My books are on there. My events everything is on my Instagram. My events coming up and everything.
Love it. Appreciate your time, man. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, man.
Signing off.